now here's a varsity Shelmont basketball player, Matt Burr. Today is the 10th of December, and you're watching the 86th episode of Sports Fusion. I'm wearing a winter coat and a Shelmont winter hat. It's pretty cold outside, and we're getting a lot of snow, so it's pretty cold up here. Welcome to Monday Night Sports Fusion. Today is February 2nd, 2015. My name is Alex Fuse. And before we have Anthony Yezzo and Pete Toma on tonight to talk about Super Bowl 49, let's go outside with Pete Toma to talk about the weather because breaking record blizzard here at Albany, New York today. So what does Pete Toma have to say about the weather right now?
Hello, Fuse Nation. On this episode of Sports Fusion, we got a little bit of a weather report for you. As you can see, it's still snowing, and we got about a foot of snow. It's a whopping 6 degrees out here, and it isn't going to get any warmer for tomorrow morning. About 1 degree tomorrow when you wake up. Now, I'll be going back inside to talk to Alex about Super Bowl 49. Thanks for joining us on Sports Fusion.
Today is Wednesday, January 14th, 2015. My name is Alex Fuse. You are watching episode 100 of Sports Fusion. We got a big... Now he is a Shelmont varsity basketball player, Aiden Frank. So, Aiden, what was your favorite moment from this season so far?
I mean, there's a lot of great moments we've had together this season as a team, and I'm really proud of our team so far. But I think my favorite moment was when we won the Curling Cup, because it was when we won it back-to-back years this year, so that meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to the team, so I think that had to be my favorite moment so far.
Sports Fusion, Roger Weiland. So, Roger, the Yankees finished the season at 84 wins, and it's the second losing season in a row. What do you think the Yankees need to do to start winning again next year?
Number one, they need to make sure. By the way, how you doing, Alex? Thanks for having me on the show.
Yeah, thank you.
Number one, they need to make sure that the pitching is set, and Masahiro Tanaka is got to be in that rotation next year. And right now, that's the plan. But let's see how that works out when it comes to spring training in March, and then getting CC Sabathia back healthy, making sure the front end of that rotation is where it needs to be. And then, obviously, what didn't happen this year, they didn't hit, and they need to hit next year. And the guys that are still going to be around next year, Mark Teixeira is still going to be around, and Beltran is probably still going to be around, and they need to start hitting up to their capability. They didn't do that this year, and they're going to put Alex Rodriguez in the mix next year. Can he hit? Good question. He's been out of baseball for basically 2 years, so we'll see what shape he's in when he shows up in March. But they need to hit at Yankee Stadium. They need to hit home runs in that stadium, and they didn't hit this year. That's the reason they're sitting home. It really, their pitching turned out to be solid. Despite the injuries, they had a solid staff. They didn't hit. So,
Who will be the starting quarterback next season?
That's a great question. Obviously we have a lot of holes to fill, but we have a couple of guys who will be competing for the quarterbacking position. Mm-hmm. We have Timmy Ryan, who did a fantastic job in the JV. Yeah. We got Jake Defiant, mm-hmm. Who's recovering from his knee surgery, who I believe is going to be stronger than ever. Yeah. So going into the season, knowing we have two young men who really do well in school. Obviously, they have very keep to have their priorities straight and do really well in school, and knowing that we're going to have two guys with their intelligence, taking the snaps next year, and with their work ethic throughout the course of the off season, it's a good problem to have, and I'm sure that they're both going to contribute, in some way, shape, or form, and push each other to be, the best player they can be.
Mm-hmm.